Once upon a time, in a dense and mysterious forest, there lived a clever crow named Karan. Karan was known throughout the forest for his intelligence and cunning nature. He had a reputation for outsmarting the other animals and birds, which often left them in awe of his cleverness. However, Karan's intelligence sometimes led him into trouble, as he couldn't resist testing his wits against anyone or anything. One sunny morning, as Karan was perched on a tree branch, he overheard a group of animals talking about a legendary serpent that lived deep within the heart of the forest. This serpent was said to possess unimaginable wealth and power. It was called Nagendra, the king of snakes. The animals spoke of how anyone who could bring a treasure from Nagendra's lair would become the most powerful creature in the forest. Karan's curiosity got the better of him, and he decided that he must outsmart Nagendra and claim the treasure for himself. Gendra was known for his cunning and the deadly traps he set around his lair to protect his treasures. As Karan ventured deeper into the forest, he met a wise old owl named Oyas. Ojas was known for his wisdom and had lived in the forest for centuries. Karan decided to seek Ojas's advice on how to outwit Nagendra. Oyas, I have heard of Nagendra, the king of snakes, and his treasure. I want to outsmart him and claim his treasure for myself. Can you guide me on how to do it? Karan asked. Oyas looked at Karan with his wise old eyes and replied, Karan, Nagendra is no ordinary snake. He is incredibly intelligent, and his lair is filled with deadly traps. But I can offer you some advice. To outsmart Nagendra, you must use your intelligence and cunning to your advantage. Remember, wisdom is your greatest weapon. Karan thanked Oyas for his guidance and continued on his journey to find Nagendra's lair. After days of searching, he finally reached the entrance to the serpent's lair. It was a dark and ominous cave, guarded by a massive python. Karan approached the python cautiously and said, I seek an audience with Nagendra, the king of snakes. I have come to challenge his intelligence. The python, intrigued by Karan's boldness, allowed him to enter the cave. Inside, Karan found himself in a chamber filled with treasures beyond his wildest dreams, piles of gold, jewels, and precious artifacts. At the center of it all, coiled up in majestic splendor, was Nagendra. Nagendra lifted his head and hissed. Who dares to enter my lair? Karan replied confidently, I am Karan, the clever crow. I have heard of your intelligence, and I have come to challenge you in a contest of wits. Nagendra, amused by Karan's audacity, agreed to the challenge. He said, Very well, Karan. If you can answer 3 riddles correctly, I will give you a portion of my treasure. Fail, and you shall become my meal. Karan accepted the challenge, and Nagendra presented the first riddle. I am born in water, but I don't get wet. What am I? Karan thought for a moment and then replied, A reflection. Nagendra nodded in approval and presented the second riddle. I have keys but open no locks. I have space but no room. You can enter but you can't go inside. What am I? Karan pondered this riddle and answered, A keyboard. Nagendra acknowledged Karan's intelligence and presented the final riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I? Karan, confident in his abilities, quickly responded, An echo. Nagendra was impressed by Karan's cleverness and honored his promise. He gave Karan a portion of his treasure as a token of respect for the crow's wit. Karan, having proven himself as the cleverest of all creatures, left Nagendra's lair with his newfound wealth. As Karan returned to the forest, the other animals and birds marveled at his success. He had not only outsmarted Nagendra, but had also gained the respect and admiration of the entire forest. From that day forward, Karan the crow was known as the wisest and cleverest creature in the forest, and his legend lived on for generations to come. And so, the clever crow, Karan, learned that true wisdom could overcome even the most formidable challenges, and he lived happily ever after.